gates of Winterfell came crashing down, shattered by a wounded giant, barely standing. His body was pierced with arrows, his steps heavy and slow. Yet still, he stood using his broken frame to block the enemy one last time. With the final wave of foes swept away, Winterfell fell silent once more. The Battle of the Bastards was over. Jon Snow had won. He approached the fallen giant, hoping to offer a moment of solace to the one who had stood by him through so much. But before he could speak, an arrow shot straight through the giant's eye. The one who fired it? Ramsay Bolton. After killing the giant, Ramsay realized he stood no chance against Jon's army. So, he proposed a one-on-one duel. Jon, burning with rage, picked up a shield and charged straight at him. Though the distance between them was short, Jon blocked every arrow with precise, unshakable defense. He could have ended Ramsay then and there, but in the end he left the decision to Sansa. The battle was over. Once again, the direwolf banner flew over the walls of Winterfell. The home of House Stark had returned to its rightful bloodline. As night fell, Sansa descended into the dungeons where Ramsay was being held. This man had been her greatest nightmare. She would never forget the torment and humiliation he had inflicted on her. Ramsay, arrogant as ever, claimed his hounds would never harm their master. But hunger had long replaced loyalty. The dogs no longer obeyed. They turned on their former master, and Ramsay was devoured by the very beast he had once trusted most. Only then did Sansa begin to heal. Meanwhile, far away, Arya Stark was approaching a turning point of her own. Having avenged her enemies, she was now on her way to King's Landing, planning to assassinate Cersei. On the road, she unexpectedly ran into an old friend, Hot Pie, and from him, she heard a stunning piece of news. Jon Snow had won back Winterfell and been named king in the north. The moment hit Arya like a thunderclap. She dropped her food in disbelief, and at the crossroads ahead, she made a choice. She would go home. On the way back, while resting one evening, Arya sensed something strange. Her horse grew restless. Suddenly, wolves emerged from all directions, surrounding her in seconds. Then, from the shadows of the forest, a massive direwolf stepped forward. Arya turned. It was Nymeria, the wolf she had raised as a child.
Nymeria?
Years ago, to protect her from Joffrey, Arya had forced her to flee. She had believed they would never meet again. But here they were. Nymeria recognized Arya, yet she did not follow her. Instead, she returned to the wild, melting back into the forest. Arya didn't chase after her. She understood. Nymeria was no longer that young pup, just as she was no longer that little girl. After a long journey, Arya finally stepped through the gates of Winterfell. She stood still, taking in every corner of the home she once knew. The castle hadn't changed, but the people had. In the crypt, beside their father's tomb, Arya was reunited with Sansa. They were no longer the girls they used to be. Arya, no longer the fierce and reckless child. Sansa, no longer the naive dreamer who once wished to marry a king. They had been shaped by pain, tempered by trials. And now, they were stronger. Their reunion came not with tears or tension, but with a quiet greeting and a long, heartfelt embrace.